Jim, another topic that actually a bunch of people sent in a question about. We just talked about Bret Hart quotes the other day. Apparently, Bret Hart's made another comment about Jon Moxley. Did you see this?
I have not. Did he call him asking him to unstop a drain?
This is once again from HN Live, whatever that is. Bret Hart was asked about the current state of wrestling. Here's a quote. AEW has kind of gone in a bad direction, I think, with all the violence and gore. I watched some episodes. You know, I watched Martha Hart do her big press conference for AEW here in Calgary. I'm watching AEW, and I'm watching who used to be Dean Ambrose sticking a fork in somebody's head for like 5 minutes with a close-up on TV. This isn't wrestling either. I would recommend turning all that off. I don't watch that stuff anymore. It's not very good. Wrestling is going in some bad directions because people don't know what wrestling is or what wrestling was.
Boy, just like the last clip we talked about, the comments that he made, it's hard to argue with that because, and I know somebody's going to say, oh, well, Bret Hart's dad, Stu Hart, he used the Mongolian Stomper. He used Abdullah the Butcher in Stampede Wrestling, and they used forks. The difference, again, is that today's presentation of this is so ridiculous. It's so obviously phony and over the top that you can't take it seriously. Where the quote in the Dusty Rhodes biography from Magnum TA was that Dusty presented violence at a level not seen today. And that everything, and Dave, the sports editor from The Nation, said everything seemed to be real adults fighting over real issues. And it's the same thing with the violence that people now assume happened rampantly in the territories because they see the clips. Well, they're picking the clips they like and the ones that survived, and those are all the wild shit. But there was an equally long periods of time and longer periods of time where you didn't, in the territories, get to see a motherfucker sticking a fucking fork in a guy's head. So, and you couldn't see all the territories at the same time. So Abdullah didn't do it every week on TV. He did it when he was in the territory and when it was necessary to do. He did it more at the house shows, which was the devoted audience that you made them pay to buy a ticket to come back and see it week after week. It wasn't, they didn't build contrived structures of furniture that they pulled out under the ring to dive off through broken glass or sheets of barbed wire or boards wrapped with razor wire that were studded with fluorescent light tubes, and the guys didn't obviously visually help throw each other into and through these things. That's what Bret's talking about. It's the blood and gore that is obviously being done for the sake of the blood and gore and the violence, and everybody's in on the fucking cooperation of it, and it just looks stupid and phony and silly to do, rather than, as strange as it may seem to the modern fan, different wrestlers, wild guys, being portrayed as maniacs and capable of breaking off and going into business for themselves and doing something dangerous to somebody and nobody be able to stop them. And then they do it and nobody can. Oh, shit. There's a difference in all of that. And the context is what takes it from fucking the geek show at the fair where the fucking goof is biting the head off a live chicken. Here, give him 10 cents and he'll bite another one, to presenting a violent display that you get caught up in and want to pay to see more of and the resolution of. Did that work at all in English to make anybody understand, or do you just have to have seen both to know the difference?
I think it makes plenty of sense. The headline that made me laugh from one of these websites is, Bret Hart advises fans to turn off Jon Moxley's matches.
Well, boom! Goes the dynamite. Right there's the best advice that he's given in a long time. And it's short and succinct.
What do you think of Bret being so outspoken about modern wrestling lately? I like to hear it.
I think he's finally just said, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I'm not looking for a job, and I don't have to fucking say anything I don't believe to get anybody's sympathy or in their good graces. So here, I'll just tell the truth. Imagine that.